And now it's time for The World's Gone Mad. Sure has. Yes, it truly is a world gone mad when you consider that 50 years ago, back in the 1970s, this is what life in Iran looked like.
It was very European. Iran was very much into food, having a good time. You know, we hear stories from our parents of like 6-day-long events and parties they would have. Think of a very European, very modern, very educated, kind, generous, accepting, diverse group of people in Iran. They're wearing high fashion, they're in mini skirts.
Indeed, life for Iranian women in the 70s looked like this. And then it all came to a grinding halt that day in 1979 that the duplicitous French, with the help of the left-wing British government and the Democrat Jimmy Carter, put this bloke on an Air France flight to Tehran.
The history of war began on February 1st, 1979, aboard a flight from Paris to Tehran.
Within a few short months, the oppression began, with mandatory covering up enforced on all women and the cry, "Death to the unveiled," despite the valiant but futile attempts of many Iranian women to protest, even as early as 1979 and 80.
Yesterday's demonstration was the nearest thing to an anti-Khomeini rally yet. The imposition of Islamic law here has started with an order to women to cover their heads in government offices. Many are furious. Only a minority in Tehran already follow the instruction.
After death to the unveiled came 47 years of death to Israel and death to America in the vile Islamic terrorist republic's so-called parliament. And of course, women's fashion choices became somewhat limited. But not for much longer. Finally, in Donald Trump, the free world has a leader who is determined to put an end to the evil misogyny, sexism and oppression of the dystopian Ayatollahs and offer the chance of genuine freedom to the people, above all the women and young girls of Iran. Now, you would have thought, naturally, that all those proud feminists of the West would have supported this war of female emancipation. People maybe like the so-called feminist Kamala Harris. But you'd be wrong.
I unequivocally oppose this war of choice, and everyone should.
And of course, those brave feminists of the past, like Jane Fonda.
This dangerous and insane war against Iran not only violates international law and our Constitution.
Ah, yes, such empathy for the women of Iran. Well, how about your bog-standard lefty, woke, white, liberal woman? Surely they'd support a war against the Iranian patriarchy.
If you have any part to play in the American military-industrial complex, literally, you. I hope you never make it home.
Charming. Well, how about your average female street protester in places like Ireland, where they supposedly fought against tyranny?
Stop the bombing! No! Hands off! Iran! Hands off! Iran!
Nope, not her either. And forget about relying on any left-wing Australian female politicians to back the sisterhood.
An attack launched by the United States and Israel that is indeed illegal under international law.
Still, surely one of the world's most famous Trump-supporting female podcasters would be rushing to embrace the liberation of her Persian sisters. Or not.
My own feeling is no one should have to die for a foreign country. I don't think those 4 service members died for the United States. I think they died for Iran or for Israel.
Well, Meghan, perhaps you should listen to this brave Iranian woman before you start preaching.
We ask for this. We want this attack. And I know that you don't want to listen to us. You don't want to listen, but I'm going to give you the shorter version of why we want this. The reason is we had one option, to go and protest this bloody regime, and we did, and they killed 40,000 of us in 2 days. this is the last option we have. We ask for the help, and help is here. And I know I might die, and I don't care, because I'm willing to sacrifice my life for Iran.
Elsewhere, the AI crowd were having a field day spoofing everything from the Muppets to the horror movie The Shining to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Make that Iranian Rhapsody.
We just bombed Iran, dropped hellfire on their head, pulled my trigger, now they're dead.
They're like, Monsieur President, you violated the Ayatollah's data privacy.
Your aircraft carriers are rated C- for energy efficiency.
I'm screaming. Boy, we could go on for weeks like this.
Hello. Come and play with us.
Meanwhile, back in the real world, but almost as frightening, here's Kiri. Yes, it's UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer making sure his Islamic flock knows that he had nothing to do with the attack on the Ayatollahs.
The UK was not involved in the offensive strikes of the US and Israel, and that remains the case.
Trump wasn't impressed, especially the way Starmer denied US access to Diego Garcia to launch the attacks. And Trump quite rightly pointed out that crazy lefty Keir Starmer is no Winston Churchill. You don't say. Trump was also extremely unimpressed with the left-wing Spanish government for the same reason.
Spain has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain.
But meanwhile, much the delight of young Persian women everywhere, the hijabs were finally coming off.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song.
And perhaps Megyn Kelly might want to listen to this young lass.
All Iranians voted for Donald Trump. When he got shot, we were all praying for him. We voted for him both terms. In Iran, people of Iran are renaming their streets. They're printing out Trump Street because even the people in Iran love Trump so much.
While other young Iranian women were making it crystal clear what they think of those weak, woke Western women from the right and the left.
You wave Islamic Republic flags and shout about imperialism and Islamophobia. But where were you when the women of Iran were having their rights and freedoms taken away? Where were you when in 2 days the Islamic Republic slaughtered 40,000 of their own citizens?
And this young woman is furious at the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres for much the same reason.
Antonio, for the love of God, shut the up. We are tired of you. Last month, whilst the Iranian regime was slaughtering tens of thousands of Iranian civilians, you congratulated them on their anniversary.
So let's leave the final word to those brave young Iranian women who, much like their mothers and grandmothers before them, just wanted to have fun and freedom.
My flag that's lining sun.
Yes, it truly is a Persian world gone mad with happiness.